Welcome to Kevjet the podcast. Justine Williamson and Greg Vardy, creators of Shootin' the Shit podcast with Tracy and Martina.
Hi, sexies.
Greetings from London.
Greetings from Nova Scotia.
I know. I'm a bit homesick because I'm just planning my trip home, so it's a bit tough on the heart at the minute because of Air Canada.
Yeah. Don't say it.
No. How are you guys doing?
I'm great.
We're doing great. Yeah, excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for this conversation. Exactly.
Connecting through the Atlantic right now. This is pretty cool.
It is. It is. Who would have thought all those years ago when they were building the telephone that we'd be sitting here looking at each other on computer screens?
In Nova Scotia, too, at that home of the telephone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Keith's, depends on the conversation.
All the Alexanders.
All the Alexanders. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to have you on the show. And like you said, it's about connecting. And, you know, when I first started seeing you guys online, I was like, who the hell are these two? And what is the story? And so we connected online and we're going to tell the story. And let's just kind of start with, first of all, my listeners are all around the world and they're probably thinking, where is Cape Breton?
Hi, listeners. Cape Breton is an island. It's a part of Nova Scotia. And according to I think it's Maclean's magazine, some magazine, we are voted the world's third most beautiful island after, I think, Maui and Fiji. So we're up there and we have a pretty unique culture. I mean, similar to Newfoundland from the outside, but if you're on the inside, it's way different. But I guess the easiest way to describe it is that.
Well, you know, there's a difference.
A lot of like Celtic heritage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a big difference between mainland Nova Scotia and Cape Breton.
I guess there is.
A sense of humor.
No, they're not that bad.
What are some differences? Come on.
Well,
sense of humor.
Absolutely. Cape Breton has the highest amount of fiddlers per capita anywhere else in the world outside of Scotland. So we're very musical, very funny. We're great storytellers. I think that that's something that has come a long way from, you know, when people settled in Cape Breton from Scotland and Ireland. And
in a lot of ways, it's trapped in time in a kind of nice way. Some not so nice ways, but mostly nice ways. The like geography actually looks like Scotland broke off and floated over, which is kind of interesting because Nova Scotia means New Scotland.
We have a Gaelic college. That's the only one in North America. So believe it or not, there's still people in Cape Breton that study and speak the Gaelic language, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. But then, I mean, it's very beautiful, picturesque, traditional, etc. But what we do is kind of highlight the other aspects of the culture. So Tracy and Martina, their characters we created, kind of satirical Cape Bretoners, but we use them to kind of shed light on the other parts of Cape Breton culture that don't really get celebrated on the postcard. So yeah, the not so pretty parts of the island and the culture are what we like to play with and celebrate.
I think everybody who knows somebody from Cape Breton knows one of your characters.
Yeah.
That's the formula.
Yeah.
And a lot of different people that we've come across in our lives.
Yeah. How did they come about? First of all, is it true that the two of you met selling phones in the mall?
Research.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, like, we both live in neighboring small towns. That's where we grew up. And with small towns, you kind of know everybody in your town and the next town and the next town. So we knew who each other was. And then I started working at Future Shop. Dean had already worked there. And I didn't start selling cell phones. Maybe this is interesting, maybe it's not. But I started in cameras. And Justine was queen of the cell phone department. And that's where you made the money because we were commission based. And I was like, fuck, I got to get into the cell phone department. So I fought and I sold my little way up to the cell phone department. And then we started working together and eventually developed these characters kind of through, blowing off steam. I don't know. We would have people come in. So we sold cell phones. And to get a cell phone, you need a credit check. And the real life Tracy and Martinas of the world don't necessarily understand credit or have good credit. So they would yell at us. They would blame us for them not being able to get the newest iPhone. And when they would leave, it was a way of like, I guess, blowing off steam or venting after being screamed at. We would do impressions of them and then just kind of talk to each other. And our coworkers were like, guys, this is really funny. And at the time, it was like the heyday of YouTube when all the YouTubers were becoming millionaires. We're like, oh, shit, let's make a YouTube channel. Justine you were an early adopter of YouTube since 2007?
Yeah.
So
that's
wild.
what we did.
Did you, are there any family members that you've kind of taken play off of?
We can't say that.
Yes.
I know.
It's funny, like in the early days, nobody wanted to say like Martina reminds me of me.
Yeah.
But now that we've gained a lot of popularity, like now all my family members are like, oh, you're doing impressions of me, I can tell. And like, yes and no, there's no one person that the characters are designed after, but like more so a collection of characters.
Do you get any like negative feedback from people back home?
We were really scared when we started doing Tracy and Martina and posting content that it would be like a lot of hateful backlash, like, how dare you make fun of Cape Bretoners? You're making us look stupid. But it's quite the contrary. Like, we've had such a positive response overall.
Do you know what? Once in a while, a negative comment will trickle through to me because I don't read a lot of it. Sometimes it's like people who have no idea who we are and they're like posting from the US things that are like hate speech. So that's not cool. But sometimes it's people from Cape Breton who are like, because we talk with heavy accents when we make our content. And sometimes people will be like, oh, you're embarrassing Cape Bretoners, learn to speak. And I think that's really interesting because
I love responding to that though, because
I know
essentially what they're
like,
saying, by having an accent, it must equate to being low IQ.
It's like they're embarrassed of their culture. And it's like there are many, many, many intelligent people who speak with an accent based on where they grew up. And I think to highlight that, like, it's nothing to be embarrassed of because it's kind of a rite of passage for a lot of people from the island. When we move away, we get made fun of for our accents. So then we kind of learn to put them away and avoid being made fun of. But I don't know, I kind of love that we reclaim it. Now, like a lot of our fans will send us like messages and videos that they're leaning into their accent and they kind of celebrate it again. So it's kind of it's something that I'm proud of that we do.
What was it like when you left home? Did you feel a sense of freedom or were you afraid? Were you glad to leave like a small town? Was it empowering or were you sad to leave that part?
I mean,
yes and no.
We only went to Halifax, so
Oh.
It's not that big of a
Yeah.
Where I'm from. I love Cape Breton. I've never had that feeling in my experience anyways. Like I always love visiting home, and especially for the characters too. Like, it's great to go back and just get inspiration. Just go sit in town and people watch. Like, it's really
go to the mall
to stay grounded. Yeah.
I love in hindsight, I think it's really important that we did move away just for what we do. Because we've gained a perspective, like going out into the world and then coming home and seeing some of the things that like we didn't even realize were like part of the culture or like comical
and you
when we were growing up.
You appreciate it so much
I
more.
appreciate it. I appreciate the humor of it or how insane it is. And it's like, that's the fun part.
I think that people from Cape Breton too have such a strong sense of identity that other cities and other places across Canada, maybe it's a small town thing, but I really feel it's a distinctive Cape Breton thing. I've lived in Toronto too, and no hate, no shape, but a lot of these people have no personalities.
It's so true.
And there's kind of a thing that like there's a massive amount of people moving from large cities to Cape Breton, to Nova Scotia for a variety of reasons. But like, I feel like one of them is to try to find a culture. Like, all of a sudden it's these people who have like, they didn't grow up here, which is fine. But now they're like almost cosplaying as Atlantic Canadians. And it's like, okay, like, that's good. But I feel like a lot of people are craving culture or like trying to reconnect with something that kind of related to this.
So naturally to you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I had a conversation with my partner a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't tell you about this, Justine, but I think it's interesting. There's like 3 stages of being a part of a culture. It's like every single person, whether you're from Toronto or elsewhere, you're a part of a culture. And there's either you're a part of it and you don't realize, like you're so enmeshed, you don't realize that like the things that you do are a part of your culture. There are people who kind of they realize it and then have a chip on their shoulder about it. Like maybe they want to move away. It's like how we moved away and stopped speaking with an accent. And then like the third stage, almost like cultural enlightenment, is realizing it's really cool to be from somewhere, to have something that's a part of you that you can take with you. And it's like, it's what makes you unique, nothing to be embarrassed about, and you lean into it. So that's kind of how we feel.
Yeah,
maybe there's a 4th stage.
You're always celebrating where you're from, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're having fun with it as well. It's and that's part of the culture is having fun.
Having a sense of humor is a part of Cape Breton culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. 100% it is. But what stage were you at? Like, at what point did you realize that this was going to be more than just a hobby? Or
the
do you
first
still feel
video.
that way?
No, people always ask us in interviews, it's like, are you shocked at the success of Tracy and Martina? And no, we kind of, I don't know, we knew we had something from the very first video, and it's kind of just like, we've kind of been married to the concept ever since. Like Justine and I,
Was a tipping
we've
point
always,
when
yeah,
it was past us just making YouTube content. I think, sorry to interrupt, but for me, when we started working with CBC Comedy, that was like a little
yeah,
notch in that was like, oh, okay, someone else is producing our videos for us. I don't have to sit down and edit. That's really cool. We have a videographer. We have someone who's miking us. Like to
hmm
elevate the content, I think was pretty cool. And to have a national platform instead of
yeah.
just YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Continue, Greg. Sorry.
Just that, yeah, like we've had like moments of like significant growth where it's like, oh shit, this is actually like catching on. But like I remember in the early days when we like would watch these videos and be like, yes, it's low production value. Yes, it's like, I don't know, pretty rough, but I think we've always really believed in the concept, and that's why we've worked our asses off for 11 years to kind of foster these characters and the universe that we've created around them. And like Justine and I, we have recently more so started taking other acting roles in other shows just to kind of like broaden our portfolio. But like we still like we know Tracy and Martina, that's the ticket. That's like people haven't seen the fully evolved form of what we want to do with these characters. Like we want to make a show, we want to make a series, we want to like create this world with a budget to show people exactly how we see the characters. And once we reach that level, and if it's not what we thought it was, sure. But we really believe in this idea.
One thing I love is the chemistry between the two of you.
Thanks.
Do you find it difficult some days? Like, do you find some days are like, oh gosh, you know what? Everyone has that coworker. Some days you're like, oh my gosh. But you guys seem to always have that chemistry. It's just always on.
It's that Aries and Sag mix. No, I think overall, like we gel pretty well together. We work well together. We're like officially business partners. But I
Married.
think
Yeah, you spend a lot of time together.
we definitely have chemistry. We have a lot in common, and especially like when we turn the characters on, it's like we become different people.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways too, it's like we are both so individually invested in this idea and this career path. And I think we know that we need each other. Like there's no time it's very seldom that we start to like get in an argument, but I think we both kind of realize like, all right, we have to smooth this over because we had bigger win the battle, lose the war. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that I think is hilarious, and I've been watching a lot of your clips in the last couple of days, is you can always tell when somebody's kind of maybe off script a little bit and one of you wants to just laugh. And those are some of my favorite moments. So, how much of the podcast is off script and how much is scripted?
Well, we basically write bullet points of what we want to discuss, and then it's improvised.
yeah, it's pretty much, I would say like 95% improvised. Like the type of podcast it is, it's like these characters are catching you up on what's going on in their lives. So we'll have like general themes of like, all right, like maybe Martina got in a fight at the grocery store, and then everything else and all of like the delivery and the details, that's completely off the cuff. And it's kind of, I think it's fun and cool that we can completely go into these characters because we know the world so well too that like we both know exactly what it would look like if Martina got in a fight at Sobeys. And that's usually what cracks each other up is
Well,
when
I know when Greg starts to like veer off and go in a direction that is like, this is going to be really funny. So then I'll play into it and like, and oh, what was you wearing? Oh, like,
yeah, and it's usually when like the details are so exact and so like we fully just slip into these characters, and that's when it's so funny. Like when Justine leaves the chat and it's only Tracy that I'm sitting with, I'm like, that's when I start to crack up because it becomes psychotic a little bit, but that's what we try to do.
yeah, it's usually when like you'll have an idea, like a story for the podcast,
Yeah.
and you don't tell me. If you go off like live on camera, that kills me. I don't know what's happening. I wasn't prepped for this.
And it's
Yeah.
great that you guys kill each other laughing. Like, I love that.
That's
I
the
love
goal.
it. Yeah. I wonder, so as I'm watching, so I would imagine other people are wondering the same question. How much prep is involved with your guests before they sit down with you?
I do the obsessive prep. Greg just says to me, "We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Just let's improvise it." I'm like, "No, I need to be so anal about this. I need to watch every podcast that they've been on in the past 2 years. I need to look at their like, if there's any clips of them on YouTube. Like, I do a lot of research, but then it's just so I can have that in the back of my mind, and then if I want to pull it out have a little.
In case something happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, Martina, maybe this is accidental, but like when we have guests, I prefer not to know. And I think it comes across as because Martina's like a middle-aged mom who wouldn't know all of these details and just kind of asking like insane questions to people who have like the answers are probably on Wikipedia, but I think it kind of is funny. But as for like prepping our guests when they arrive on set, we pretty much just tell them like, all right, interact with these characters as if they're real people. We never break the fourth wall. And if there's anything that you want redacted, let us know. But it hasn't happened yet.
You can sometimes tell on their face that they're like, whoa, they're not expecting some of the things, which I love. And I think is the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
The remake.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I mean, the queer thing, I love that.
So you're lesbian.
And it's funny because I think everyone else who was watching that will have the same reaction as me. And like your heart stops for a second.
Yeah.
But then you know what you can go with. And I think that's quite fun.
It's really funny too. Like because these characters, it's like, I mean, yes, I am a man dressing as a woman, so technically it's drag, but like the characters themselves aren't exactly progressive. So like we have a lot of fun kind of leaning into that like problematic side, and then the characters like learn lessons. So it bridges the gap between, I mean, we have a lot of fans that are like on the left side, right side, progressive, not so progressive, and we kind of bridge the gap in the middle. So to play both sides with each other is something that I don't think a lot of shows or content get to really do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean, just talking about your background. So let's start with Greg. You studied to be a lawyer. Like this wasn't even something that, was it ever on your radar? Like, is that something that you always wanted to do, but you thought, oh, I should go to uni and do all those things that.
Yes and no.
I think it was midway through our journey of Tracy and Martina where you were kind of doubting what path you wanted to take. Like, do I do this Martina thing, lean into entertainment, or do I be sensible?
Yeah. And then there was a global pandemic, and I was like, fuck, I should probably have a job. Because at the time we were like making videos here and there. It wasn't super busy, and I was just bartending. And I mean, we started Tracy and Martina when I was in my third year of my undergrad. And when I started my undergrad, the plan was to go to law school. It's something that like, I mean, since I was in like the second grade, I used to say I wanted to be a lawyer. So then, pandemic, and I applied to law school. I thought it was kind of a good opportunity. And of course, like as soon as I got accepted, that's when we made the Christmas special. That's when we made our book came out. We finished writing our book the day after my last law school exam of my first year. So it was like, it was kind of
Universe
insane.
was poking you and saying,
Yeah. And then, so we had a lot of things that started like really picking up steam with Tracy and Martina while I was in law school. And I don't know, it was like very obvious to me what brought me more joy. And then as I started making money as Martina, it's like, okay, well, it would take actually quite a long time to be a lawyer to make this kind of money. And I think I'd also be miserable. So that was, it was obvious to me.
How about you?
Finished law school though.
There you go. And how did
I
you
got
feel?
a communications undergrad degree, so I know how to talk to people.
Amazing. Was it always something you always wanted to work in like entertainment?
Absolutely. Yes. Since like early days of high school, I just was drawn to the camera.
It shifted for you too though, because
so
your Much Music stuff.
Early story, like I didn't have many friends. I wasn't very popular in high school, but I had my eye on cool people that I want to be surrounded by these people. So how do I do it? Okay, so I start a YouTube channel and then I make a fake series and then I cast all these people to come and hang out with me. So that's kind of like how it began. And then just sort of
fucking
developed.
Master of Puppets.
And then I was interested in like entertainment journalism for a while. This Much Music VJ search thing popped up on my Facebook and I applied, made it to like the top 15. So I was on the show, met a lot of amazing people that I still talk to this day. And the rejection of the VJ search, I mean, kind of put a fire under me to like continue doing what I'm doing, maybe just in a redirected way. Like I don't think that I truly wanted to be like a talking head. I thought I had more personality and a better sense of humor. And so then we just dove into comedy.
Amazing. Imagine Tracy as a Much Music VJ.
Ed the Sock.
That would be an episode.
Yes.
I'd watch that. I just worked with Much Music's Erica at Canada Day.
No way.
She was Much Music's. Yeah.
Early days VJ.
Yeah. So she came over and she hosted some of the stage this year.
Very cool.
Yeah, so there's an interview with her.
It's a shame what's
Living
happening.
the universe. I know. I can't believe it. Like every time you switch it on, it's like a reality show or something.
Yeah, well, they don't have a network anymore. It's just social media.
Wow.
Sucks. I friggin' love music videos. It's like since the time I was a kid, that's my shit.
Yeah.
I used to come home from school and just watch music videos on repeat. And like Video on Trial, oh my God, I loved that show.
One thing Erica said to me during the interview, actually, which is I never even thought of. And she was like, it was the one thing that brought all Canadians to one spot because we were all watching the same music and listening to the same music. So no matter what your culture was or what side of the country you lived in, everybody was drawn to that one program and listening to the same things. And that made such sense. And it's so sad it doesn't even exist now.
Yeah, definitely.
Very true. Bring back much music.
I got to intern there for a couple of months too, which was pretty interesting. So I got to sit in on like all of the countdowns and yeah, I did a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which was also a good experience for me. It's a very humbling experience to go from like being on a TV show to then getting coffee for people and doing returns. But I think it's all about balance. Like it taught me a lot of, you know, the behind the scenes production stuff that is very valuable that I, you know, still
We still do that stuff.
I was just gonna say, you guys do like the red carpet interview stuff, and that is hilarious as well because, especially like the Cavendish, which you guys recently did, because some of those people would have no idea about Cape Breton, and so I love those interviews. Did you ever feel like they were kind of caught like a deer in headlights at some of those interviews?
Yes and no. I mean, some people aren't.
Kind of a little thrown off. Yeah, the Nate Holler interview.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
He was good about it. But like some of the people in the crowd, I'm sure you know this, but like a lot of people have like a mortal fear of being on camera and hearing their own voice. So like they want to come and talk to us and get a photo. And then we would say, can we ask you a few questions on camera? And some people, of course, said no. Some people, because they got their photo with us, kind of felt like they had to. So then those are the people that were like, good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just, deer in headlights is a good way to describe it.
It's true. It's like as soon as that voice, when I hit record, it says, we are now recording. You can see some of the guests just freeze and like their body language changes. And it takes a long time for us to like get this conversation going. And then other guests are just like, come on, let's go. They love it. But you can always see those people. And I think it's entertaining for myself. So I see it when I'm watching other people doing interviews, which I love. Who takes the longest to get into character?
Me.
Great.
I
mean, you can turn the characters on, but as far as makeup and wardrobe and stuff.
Yeah, there's not really a process of like mentally getting into character or like shifting into the voices or anything like that.
In the early days, Greg used to smoke cigarettes. Like drink a Rev, listen to Reba McEntire and smoke a cigarette out on my deck.
Reba's my favorite, by the way.
Queen.
I forgot about that. I think that was just because I was
like, you needed a specific playlist. We were like, yeah,
that's fair. I think that was more so me being in my early 20s and wanting to smoke a cigarette.
Do you guys have a dream guest? If you had
Okay, wait. So yesterday I was talking to Greg about Liam Kyle Sullivan.
Oh my God, shoes.
There's the Kelly character.
Mine's Jamae. Jamae, private school girl. I fucking love Chris Lilly.
In your mind,
problematic take.
Do you already have questions you would ask them?
No.
Sit there the whole time. We love you.
Who else? I mean, the dream. Yeah, Chris Lilly, Trixie, and/or Katya. They're big inspos for me.
Yeah, we really haven't. We need to make a vision board.
You do.
I know.
It works. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah, we've not been short-sighted with our guests, but I think when the podcast is only starting to pick up now, and like when we first started, it was kind of like just asking our friends and to do favors for us, like, come on our podcast, and then started to like grow. And I think
now we have some bigger names in the DM that want to be on the podcast now, so
amazing.
That's pretty cool, pretty exciting. So I think it's time to set our sights on the dream guest list.
And the podcast is quite cool now because I mean, you always get everybody's doing a podcast, but you'll see your success in a different way because I personally, for a long time, I didn't even listen to a podcast myself. And I was just told, why don't you try doing a podcast? And so I did. And I got thrown into the world and had to like learn all the ropes myself and did all that type of thing. But once you find like you have your listeners and you have your little niche, people are starting to like to watch the video, which is what you guys are doing.
Yeah. It's fun for us. Like we started on YouTube, of course, and then we started doing some like scripted stuff. So like the Christmas special, and then we have 2 seasons of our scripted series called Dirty Deeds. So we're trying to like paint the picture with like a low budget to make our series. And we're like, we don't have a lot of options for casting, and a lot of like our big grand stories get like whittled down to what's doable versus the podcast where we are just like illustrating the most insane scenarios and just describing it. And as we're painting the picture the way that we see it, we don't have to compromise, which is really exciting versus like we could never afford to with Dirty Deeds, like, I don't know, blow up a whale. Like
I love that you're in the she shed. I love that. And your guests are sat there at the table, and I it's just such a great concept.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And for myself, I don't know how it's working for you, but for myself, my listeners are 50-50. So I have 50% of the people out there enjoy listening, where the other 50 enjoy watching. And there's no rhyme or reason. And that's why I just keep doing video and audio, because it's working.
Yeah. We're pretty similar, I think. Our video lives
both on Trailer Park Boys Plus. That's where our video is hosted, but our podcast has been like really blowing up. You have the analytics.
Yeah, it is pretty much 50-50. So we can see, it's harder for us to see the video analytics because it's behind the Trailer Park Boys' team. We can get it if we want, but whatever. And for the podcast, it's all online through our hosting website. So it's really cool to see who's listening. And we have a growing fan base in the UK. And I think that's really cool, but not surprising in a weird way.
Yeah, it's the similar sense of humor. It's very similar. And we were talking before the recording, and I was like, I'd love to get you guys over here somehow. It would be amazing.
Let's line it up.
We want to do that too. We've been talking about doing England, Scotland, Ireland tour. I think that would be really cool. But just to do something over there would be friggin' amazing.
Yeah, they would love your sense of humor, and I hope that they will check you out definitely when they hear this, for sure.
Do it.
What are you guys most looking forward to in the future?
We have some big secret projects happening that we're working on that are very exciting and feel promising. So those, which is not really a fun answer, but we got stuff in the works.
But I think, like for Tracy and Martina, we talked about this the other day too, but it's just having the budget to do a proper series, how we, with the cast that we want, fully realizing that whole world.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, doing that.
And then beyond that, I would like to direct something. I'm really interested in like the production side, like edit all of our podcasts. And I have been editing like our videos since the very beginning. So I find that pretty interesting. I like to be in full control.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
But I think Greg and I have always been really in control of our brand with what we do partnerships wise and like the characters.
It's true. We kind of joke like when we're doing like when we have meetings with like brands who want to partner with us, like half of our success has been being funny, and then the other half is just marketing. Like from our very first video, we have stuck to the exact same brand. We start every video with "Hi sexies, it's Tracy, hon, you're Martina." Blah blah blah. Like we have built something that's so recognizable and nostalgic, and yeah, a lot of it is just the branding and marketing. Also being funny and engaged, but
that's something that I love to do, Greg, is like when we sit down and we brainstorm merch.
Oh my!
It's like that's so much fun.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as the crazy idea, because those ideas are the best.
Truly, yeah. Other than that, though, like Justine said, directing. Over the past year or so, we've started acting in other people's shows, and I suspected, but maybe this is kind of like gaggy to say, but like I think we're really good comedy actors. As we're starting to like branch out and do other characters and just kind of like step into other roles, it's something that I think actually comes quite natural to us, and I want to do more of it. So
I think we held ourselves back for so long too.
I know.
It was like, I'm one trick pony. Like I can do this character, but could I do anything else? May as well just stick to what I know. But the more that I've branched out and like we've done other series and a lot of other acting in the past year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I mean, and you guys did a stint of, I think it was just a matter of weeks that you say, but you guys were writers for 22 minutes.
yeah.
And how did that feel? I mean, that must have been
Bad. We learned a lot. Nothing against the show. It was like
Nothing against the
very
show or the people there.
no.
Like there's
Yeah.
people that I still talk to today that I've met on 22, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
just not feel like it was the right fit for me anyways.
No.
But you have
It's
to do those
it's very
things,
much
I
like
think. Yeah.
100%. We didn't realize at the time because it was one of our first like real jobs in the industry that there's different types of funny. And that's very much like setup, punchline, making like political jokes. And it couldn't be further from what we do as Tracy and Martina and like the type of humor that we do. Like we're more like situational storytellers,
You have to tell the
etc.
story through a character as well.
Yeah.
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 Which is kind of cool in full circle because like it was Jimmy Rankin who kind of said it, and it kind of sparked something in me that like we're storytellers, which is one of the traditional Cape Breton art forms: fiddling, dancing, storytelling, and probably something else I'm forgetting. But yeah, it's kind of cool to honor that.
He's hilarious as well. And when he and Mia were on your show, I mean, come on, that was comedy gold.
We were
Yeah.
so excited to get them on. Been a
Holy shit.
Vikings fan. I mean, since my mom actually moved back to Cape Breton, she was living in Toronto and she was listening to the Rankins, and that was one of the reasons why she moved back home. Just made her so homesick. So she was texting me the other day, like she's like, Justine, I can't believe you had Jimmy Rankin on the podcast. Huge Rankins fan. So just very proud.
I love that. I love that. I always get, my mom will sometimes ring me and she'll be like, "Oh, I listened to whatever interview," and she'll say, "I'm so glad that you didn't embarrass yourself."
I haven't achieved that comment yet because I think
Yeah.
It's amazing. I like to do like a little bit of quick fire questions.
okay.
If your life was a movie, would it be a drama, a comedy, or a documentary?
Documentary.
Comedy.
What's your
Just-
go-to karaoke song?
Anything by Gwen Stefani.
I have a list. The one that comes to my mind right away. Here's the thing for everybody. You want your karaoke song to be something that other people can sing. It has to be sing along, but it also has to be something that gets the party started. Like feel good. I think a really good one that doesn't get used enough is If You Could Read My Mind. But like the disco version, everyone knows the words. It's fun.
So true. If you were a kitchen appliance, which would it be and why?
A blender.
Coffee maker.
And why?
I don't know why I said a blender. I have no.
Go deeper. There's something there.
Yeah, maybe.
Throw it all in.
I have no idea. I don't know. It's not that deep.
I was gonna say kettle.
I just
And
made something in my NutriBullet, so
I'm also drinking coffee. I feel like I use my kettle the most
why your coffee machine?
because I'm addicted to coffee.
No, go deeper.
I get it percolating
What's the weirdest thing that you believed as a kid and you still believe now?
that I still believe now.
Mm,
I used to have a recurring dream that I don't know if I still believe it now. In fact, no, I don't. But when I was a kid, I used to have this dream that, remember like porcelain clown dolls? Like porcelain dolls, but like there was like a very 90s version of porcelain doll that were like clown faces with little silk pajamas on them.
Mhm.
I had a cousin who had a bunch of those, and I think they scared me, and I would have a dream that they operated all of the automatic doors in the world. So anytime I was going in like Walmart or like the drugstore, they were pressing buttons under the store, opening the doors.
hey, wait. I believe that Furbies with the batteries out are a perfect host for a demon to occupy.
This is a chilling look into our psyche.
I had a Furby when I was a child, and the batteries were out of that friggin' thing, and it would fucking talk through the night. I had to throw it out. No, cursed.
I
I used to think I was a cat.
I stand by that.
I used to, when I was a kid, truly was like, I was a cat. I would go visiting with my parents to like their friends' houses, and I would be served a bowl of milk, which I would drink on the back of the couch while the adults sat around.
I've never heard this story.
You can
Yeah,
actually
I
do
had
that.
it.
You can do that in school now.
Let's not go there. Somebody bought me a tail, and I wore a tail for a long time until I started school. Of course, I was made fun of for my fluffy white tail.
Could have been fostered. You could have been a furry.
Well, do you know what? I'm sure it's somewhere in there. Let's not start the rumor, but I'm not a furry, but I don't want to explore it because I might find something in there.
If you could swap for 24 hours with any celebrity life, who would it be?
Gail King.
Ooh.
Okay.
Gail King. It's the perfect gig. You're Oprah's best friend. What do you really have to do?
I feel like Alexa Chung has a pretty chic life. I'd love her closet. She just seems like the cool it girl.
Very true. Very true. Thanks, guys. I absolutely loved this conversation. And I look forward to like getting your asses over here to the UK sometime.
Yeah,
Please.
to come.
That would be great.
Thanks for having us.
We'll go on a pub crawl.
Let's do it.
Anytime.
They're not ready for us. They're not ready for us.
Where can our listeners find you guys?
We are on Spotify and Apple. You can listen to the audio version of our podcast, and the full video version is on Trailer Park Boys Plus.
Shooting the Shit with Tracy and Martina. And then on Instagram and TikTok, Dean is Justine Williamson, or Justine Will. But then Tracy it's Tracy Hun. And then I'm Greg Vardy on everything. And Martina is Your Girl Martina. On Facebook, it's Tracy and Martina. And tracyandmartina.com.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I'll share.
Get your pen out.
I'll share all the things. I will. It'll be amazing. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.